Live look at Tokyo coming up on midnight there, and there is breaking news coming out of Japan. Organizers have announced a total ban on all spectators at the 2020 Olympic Game events in the city. Earlier, a state of emergency was declared in the city due to a rise in COVID-19 cases. All of this, think of the timing. It comes just 2 weeks before the start of the games. Freelance reporter Phoebe Amoroso is standing by live right there in Tokyo. So why the ban? Why now, Phoebe?
Well, we've seen an increase in COVID cases over the past few weeks, and organizers have been clinging on to holding the games with spectators. Just a few weeks back, where Tokyo was under a state of emergency, from June the 21st, it was under a quasi-state of emergency, which are less strict restrictions. And at that time, the organizers decided they would put a cap at 10,000 or 50% of the venue capacity. But since then, cases have ticked upwards and upwards. And just in the past week, yesterday, for example, 920 new cases in Tokyo, the highest since May the 13th. And in Japan, the number of hospital beds for COVID-19 patients remains low, and there's a shortage of medical staff. So this really puts a strain on the medical system, even though numbers are not as severe as we've seen in many other countries. So we heard from Japan's Olympic minister saying that in the name of safety, they would put this cap on spectators. IOC Thomas Bach as well, saying that it's a responsibility to the Japanese people. It's important also to note that many people here have still yet to be vaccinated. Only around 15% of the population have been fully inoculated. Japan's vaccination program was very slow to roll out. It's really picked up speed, so much that demand has outstripped supply, and there have been a few cancellations. It's slowed down a bit. Prime Minister Suga is saying that, okay, yes, this is the fourth state of emergency that Tokyo is facing, and vaccines are the way out of this loop. He expects that 40% of the population will be vaccinated by August the 22nd, when the state of emergency is set to expire. But that is, of course, after the Olympic Games.
Phoebe, paint the picture for me then. What kind of Olympic Games can we expect when they open in 2 weeks?
They are going to be an Olympic Games unlike any other. Firstly, let's think about the athletes. They can arrive 5 days before their first competition. They have to leave 2 days afterwards. So there's going to be no celebrations on that front. They'll be in an Olympic bubble in the Olympic Village. They'll have to wear masks and socially distance at all times. And then they'll be competing in a stadium with no people there, tens of thousands of empty seats. And we've heard from athletes before in the test events that they're going to have to bring their own energy. It's a very different atmosphere. Pumping in music doesn't quite cut it for creating that atmosphere as if people were really cheering them on. And for people, the locals of Tokyo and other people in Japan, they're going to be staying at home. Particularly in Tokyo, there's a ban on alcohol at restaurants. Restaurants have to close by 8 p.m. So no one is going to be out on the street celebrating.
Thanks for that, Phoebe. That's freelance reporter Phoebe Amoroso in Tokyo.